Hey, everyone. Hello, and welcome to another Coffee and Entrepreneurship with Jody. I am your host, Jody Marvin, also known as the Skills Monetizer. I am an operations and management consultant, and I also help naturally organized women build freelance businesses that they love from home. So, again, welcome here. I am just going to go over here to my Instagram thing because I want to stream live to Instagram as well. So, I'm live on Instagram. All right. That just takes a little bit of coordination. So those of you who are ever going to go live on your pages or whatever, you have to have your Instagram open. You have to take this stream key and put it in your StreamYard. And then, you just, you have to coordinate all these things. So, but you know what? It works and it's so much fun. And all right. So let's just take a quick minute before we dive in here with our special guest, because, every now and then I come across a story that really sticks with me, and Rebecca's is definitely one of those. She has done something pretty amazing. She's taking her love and talent for cooking, something that usually keeps us really busy in the kitchen, right? And she's turned it into this awesome online business. And, it's not every day that you see someone blend their culinary skills with the digital world and so seamlessly. And that's why I am super excited about this episode, because it's all about celebrating that spirit of, turning what you love into something that can really thrive online. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good food story mixed with some savvy business sense, right? So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy, and let's get ready to hear from Rebecca. But before I bring her on stage, I just want to know as you're rolling in, say hello. I see some comments here in StreamYard. Good morning to you. StreamYard will not let me see who is saying good morning, but good morning and thank you so much for being here. I would really appreciate it if you would let me know if you're here live. It gives me a sense of who actually can show up live, and if the timing of some of my streams are good for everyone. So give me a hashtag live in the comments if you're here watching the live. Good morning. So excited to hear today's session. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm so glad that you're here. It is going to be a really good session. And if you're watching the replay, just give me a hashtag replay in the comments. If you're brand new to my page, give me a hashtag new. As you're rolling in here, let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to know. I am in central New York, where I think it's a little bit chilly outside today. Haven't even really been out there, but it's been cold here. So I'd love to know whereabouts you're from. And I'm just going to go ahead and introduce myself again for those of you that are rolling in that are new to my page. But again, I'm Jody Marvin. I'm also known as the Skills Monetizer. I am an operations management consultant, and I also help naturally organized women build freelance businesses from home that they absolutely love. Good morning. Good morning. I see a lot of you live here. I'm so glad that you're here, because this is going to be a really, really fun and interesting session today. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into introducing our special guest. All right. She's right backstage waiting for me to bring her on here. So hello, live from New York City. All right. New York City representing here. Okay. So Rebecca Connolly is a culinary virtuoso based in the heart of Oklahoma, where she serves a wide area with her personal chef services. Now, she's also the founder of what she calls Rebecca's Feast, and it's really cool. You got to check it out. It's a food blog where she shares her tried and true client and family approved favorite recipes. And beyond her personal chef services, Rebecca is a community builder and a mentor. She runs a vibrant Facebook community with over 190 members, and it's growing every day. And this is where she fosters conversations around food and wellness. And her recent initiatives, it's called the 30-Day Accountability Group, and then she has a 5-day clean slate cleanse. These initiatives really reflect her dedication to promoting a healthy and balanced lifestyle. Now, Rebecca's journey in the culinary world is one of passion turned into a thriving online business. Her work is a testament to her commitment to transforming everyday cooking into a delightful and stress-free experience. Now, who doesn't want that when they're cooking, right? With her simplified menu planning system, she says that every mom can feel like a personal chef in her kitchen. Oh my gosh, I want to feel like a personal chef in my own kitchen. Now, whether it's about mastering knife skills or choosing the right equipment, Rebecca's insights cater to both novice cooks and seasoned kitchen enthusiasts. Rebecca is passionate about bringing her unique blend of flavors and cooking expertise right to your kitchen. So you guys join me in welcoming the culinary maestro, Rebecca Connolly, a personal chef who makes every meal an exploration of taste and health, and who believes that with the right planning, every entrepreneur can find time to enjoy a fantastic meal. So let's dive into the world of culinary entrepreneurship and learn how we can all bring a bit of Rebecca's magic into your own kitchens. So let's bring her front and center. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here. What an introduction. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it deserves it for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you know what? Let's get right into it today. So
Absolutely.
let's start out, Rebecca. Why don't you just start out by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am a mom, soon to be empty nester. My youngest is graduating from high school in a few short months. So, and my son is already in college. So we're left with the pets, the cats and the dog, and you know how that goes, right?
We do, and I do know that the pets can also be like kids.
Children. Yes. So a little noise still in the house. So wife and mom, busy ever since. I've been cooking ever since I can remember. But I have, I come from two cooking families on both sides of my family. My mom grew up on a farm in Oregon, so I get all the good American home cooked goodness from her. And my dad is Filipino. So I have sort of the global, more of the global flavors and global perspectives. Of course, Filipinos love to cook too. So.
Oh, wow. I love that. That's a very interesting blend. Yeah.
So yes, so from both sides, and grew up as an Air Force brat. So we lived all over the world and incorporated a lot of traditions and food, food flavors into our own home cooking at home. So that's what I try to bring to my own clients and to my own family.
That's awesome. Yeah, when you get to experience those cultures, that really makes a difference, doesn't it? Because I mean, you can just bring so many different flavors and uniqueness. And yeah, just so you know that we do have some Filipinos.
I see. Yes.
Today. So yes, welcome to the Philippines. All right, thank you for being here. So much fun. All right. Okay, so let's talk about your journey, Rebecca.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. So as someone who has turned their love for food into a thriving business, what were really some of the key steps and challenges in making this transition? And how did you also balance this shift with your personal life?
Oh. How much time do we have, Jody?
I know, right? As much time as you need.
So, well, I think the first key, of course, was recognizing that and allowing myself to say, you know what, I do want to be an entrepreneur. I was a teacher. But I'd always wanted to have my own business, always wanted to, but there's no money in that, right? Having your own business. It's not a salary that somebody else is. So I've always wanted to be my own business, my own owner, in charge of my own time. Yeah. And I was just cooking a lot to relieve stress while I was teaching. And over the summers, I had one summer, and when we lived just outside of Boston, that a friend of mine was a restaurant manager for an upscale Italian restaurant down in Boston, and she set up some. Call it a stage, some stage work at some restaurants downtown, both in their pastry shops and in their kitchens. And I love the cooking. I will, if any of you are familiar with Joanne Chang, she beat Bobby Flay with her cinnamon rolls. I worked in her kitchen just for a day. She only had a day for me, but her cinnamon rolls are amazing, by the way. And if you're ever in Boston, definitely stop by her bakery. Flour, her cookbook is awesome, and mostly simple techniques, but she does have some more complicated ones in there. But I'll never hull strawberries or roll rolls, brioche rolls the same way after doing it for hours for her. So, but I did quickly realize that the restaurant lifestyle was not going to work. I was already married. We wanted to have children. And so the restaurant lifestyle was not, that's late nights, it's weekends, it's holidays, it's everything sort of the antithesis, right, of trying to raise your family. And I wanted to be mostly home with my kids. This was the late 1990s, the last century, as my 20-year-old likes to remind me. And personal chefs were actually becoming a thing. So not, just private chefs for the rich and famous and for, celebrities that traveled with them, but personal chefs who came into just regular families' homes, cooked once a week, twice a week, once a month, and set a family up for all of their meals. So you wouldn't need to go drive through, takeout, frozen meals, that sort of thing. And it was more tailored for personal preferences, more tailored for nutrition needs than say some of the kitchen assembly kitchens that had started popping up. And I had tried a few of those when I was pregnant with my first. And, there's only so many times you can put a chicken breast with broken ramen noodles and, sort of, I mean, it just wasn't, it wasn't the cooking I was used to. I'll be charitable. It was delicious. Anything's good, right? When you're hungry and tired and exhausted from having an infant on you. But I wanted more. I wanted more than that. And I also too, chopping onion and garlic and all kinds of aromatics with an infant I was like, I can't do this. If I can't do this, there's got to be other moms out there who also can't do this, who also want good food. And how can I serve them? How can I help? Because I know how to cook. And I had a fantastic resource, Personal Chefs Association, that I learned many, many things from. And I'm still in touch with a number of personal chef associates all across the country. So if any of you need recommendations, I'm happy to refer an associate of mine. But I'm constantly learning, constantly, trying to do more. I just remind me, what are we talking about? So where did I go with that story? So I threw my website out after, a few months of diving into how should this business work. I finally threw my shingle out internet wise it was March 2007. And my daughter was maybe 9 months old at that point, and my son was just over 3. And by the summer, I had a full chefing schedule. So a business plan that, I was like, okay, well, starting your own business, right? You figure 2-3 years, it's going to take you that long to at least break even, maybe see a profit. And by the summer, I had a full chefing schedule and had, met my initial business plan goals and was recognized by my association as Entrepreneur of the Month. So I am, so that was just like, wow, okay, I can actually do this. I'm not just, the religion teacher who likes to cook on the weekend anymore. I am, I can be a culinary professional. And so, yeah, that was exciting. And but I had great mentors. I had great mentors myself in my personal chef association. We did dinner parties together down in San Antonio. He introduced me to, I had a whole front of home staff that would work with me for dinner parties by the time we left San Antonio in 2012. And by that time I was busy enough that I was looking at bringing on other chefs onto the team and creating more of a team of chefs. So moving to Oklahoma, I've, pivoted. I know all about business pivoting and incorporating new streams and learning new things. 2020 threw twists our way as well, especially for in-person businesses. So, but yes, I have many, many exciting things planned for the next few months, the next years.
Wow, Rebecca,
So what
I'm
else?
already like, this is amazing. I love it. And what I'm really super impressed with is the mentor thing and the Personal Chefs Association, because and there are so many different associations in regards to so many different industries, right?
Very true.
For some of the ladies that are watching today, if you're in a different industry and you're thinking that, it's hard to find a mentor or whatever, there are so many associations out there, and it's so important to get involved with them because there are so many networking opportunities. There's opportunities a lot of these associations give free trainings, and you can even meet potential clients through associations and things like that. So, wow, I love that. So you've been in business for quite a while, Rebecca. So March 2007 is when you kind of made the plunge, right? Yeah. And
I did.
Yes. And I really also love how you kind of took your own personal scenario and you're like, well, wait a minute. I don't have time to chop onions and garlic when I have a baby on you know, and really a lot of times that's where it starts with. It's like, oh my gosh,
Mhm.
if I'm struggling with this, I know that someone else must be struggling with this too. So that's a good
Right.
indicator, right? That hey, maybe
Mhm.
that need is out there. So I'm so glad
Mhm.
that you took that plunge and did that, because you wouldn't have
Yes,
known,
thank
right?
you. No, absolutely not. Thank you. Yes, me too. And I have learned, I mean, that first year in the kitchen, I have to tell you, some of those cook dates were one of my first clients were uh, food allergies, right? I've cooked for, just families, food allergies, special diets, end of life clients with, say, cancer, Parkinson's, that sort of thing. I had a professional athlete that I worked with a dietitian with for his needs. And but one of my very first clients, to talk about throw me into the fire here, was a family that had two separate allergy panels, like those red, yellow, green panels, two separate, and their preferences. The one set of allergies that loved Italian food couldn't have tomatoes, or basil, or that loved. And so
Okay.
yes, so thankfully I did have my network to back me up. I did. We always said in Personal Chefs Association, you're only as good as your network, and it is so true. So I had some amazing chef mentors
Yeah.
that thankfully, yeah, for special diets, special all of that. And I do now carry my nutritionist certification, and I also carry a certification now for cooking healthy and eating strategies chefs. I think that's what it is, and that's what my online courses are based on. So we get all the flavor, right? All the foods that we want to eat that help us create a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. But then we want to filter those through what our nutrition needs are.
Mm,
So it's
yes.
so yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, girl, you are on
I
fire.
try.
I mean,
I
and you're
try.
just going for it and you're getting your certifications and you just keep building
Yeah.
upon what you're doing. And I love that so much because we all have to start somewhere, right?
Mhm.
And we don't
Just
have to
got to get
start
started.
being
Yep.
perfect. Exactly.
Yep. Just
Exactly.
got to
So,
start.
wow. I love
Just
that
got to
you have your
start.
nutritionist certification as well. So that's got to be really helpful too in your online journey, like when you're transitioning so that,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Cause you could even do coaching or
Yes.
your menu planning and things like that
Yes.
online. So exciting. And we have our friend Heidi here with us today as well.
Hi,
Heidi
Heidi.
and Grace is
Thanks for
here.
hopping
Grace.
on.
Yes, thanks for hopping on, and Grace as well. All right. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about some marketing and branding in the culinary world.
Sure.
So now, given your success in the culinary field, Rebecca, what are
Mhm.
some effective strategies that you have used to market your
Mhm.
services and really build a strong online presence in your industry?
For culinary, well, I think everybody loves food photos.
Aha.
It's one of the biggest things is to be able to photo your, and it doesn't have to be perfect. People, I think one of my all-time favorite reels, which I never would have guessed, was just bubbling blackberry crisp filling. Literally blackberries bubbling in the, and I mean, but I guess I could have sat there too. And when I scroll, I'm like, oh, I could watch. That's very ASMR, I think it is. It's very comforting. So just photoing your foods, and just being consistently online with different tips, different encouragements, different support, and being available for
Mm,
people. Back in 2007, feels like the dark ages, right before the
right.
advent
Yeah.
of social media.
Yeah.
It was all on our websites. And I did a good amount of research and before my website went live, and made sure I had all those keywords, all those, everything that was SEO friendly. So I was always at the top of searches in San Antonio, Personal Chef San Antonio. There I was. I was always in the first few. And even when I moved to Oklahoma, I was still getting phone calls from San Antonio saying, Ken, I was like, I can refer you. So,
Wow.
so yeah, the social media presence is a little bit of a different strategy,
Yeah.
but it's more live, right? More present, more. So I have actually invested for myself in a coaching program and in a business academy to help me to get that organized, to encourage me, and because we all, as you said, mentorship is key, especially
Yeah.
in entrepreneurship, because
Mhm.
we're all, in our own little homes, in our own little cars, and I'm always in my car. Maybe with an empty nest, I'll be less in my car, more at home. Um, we're kind of, even in this digital age, we need connections and we
Mm.
need the support and the encouragement. So
Yeah.
one day at a time, one day at a
Yeah.
time.
Yep, absolutely. And I love that you invested in yourself in a coaching program. Yeah, and I know that sometimes it is difficult to make a decision to make those kind of investments because it's
Yeah.
it's exactly
Scary.
what it is. It's an
Yeah,
investment.
it is. Mhm.
And in ourselves, and it's just so important to continue the learning, because if we don't make those investments and we just kind of go for like some of the free stuff that's out there, which is good,
Mhm.
free stuff
Oh,
is good
yes.
too, then sometimes it doesn't
Great
give us
way to
that
start.
accountability or skin in the game, or whatever you want to call
Yeah,
it. So
exactly.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I am a
You gotta
big,
bet on yourself.
you betcha,
You
absolutely.
gotta bet on yourself.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and hiring a coach is like one of the best things that ever happened to me as well.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Yes, I would have loved when I started, I would have loved the kind of skills academy that you offer to help me, just hone down and implement exactly what it is that I want. Because I know I meet other moms too who are like, well, why I can't do that. I'm like, yes, you
mhm.
can. You can do that. You can, take something that you're passionate about and turn it into a business if you
Yeah.
have a good enough reason, if you have a good enough, and you need a plan, right? You need a
But,
plan.
but I love the word plan, because that's
Yeah.
like the very beginning step. You need to have a plan. And Heidi says, to level up and stand out, we need to push and
Mhm.
be coached. It helps keep you accountable. Yes, Heidi,
Absolutely.
it's all about
Yeah.
accountability. Yeah, because being accountable to someone else really, really does put that fire under us.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
yeah,
So,
and I wanted to mention something else, but I kind of lost my train of thought. So you were just talking about
yeah, we went down a different rabbit hole. Sorry
women
about that.
starting these businesses.
Mhm.
So doing what they love, and you know what, and
Yes.
getting coaches and things like that, because wanting to do what you love, what you're really good at, is a little bit different than the business side, right?
It
And
is.
sometimes you just need that mentoring and coaching, because
Right.
there's some boring, dry stuff about setting up a business. But that boring, dry stuff is really
Mhm.
important, especially with setting up with a solid infrastructure, knowing how to market yourself, all
Right.
those sides of the business that you don't think about. I mean, like as a personal chef, you probably just want to go help people with their food and
Yeah.
plan those meals and help their families
Oh,
and
yeah.
things like that. But in
Right.
order to go and do that, you still have to have
I do.
the business side
I
set up,
do.
right?
And I have to set aside I have to time block for that during the week. So my schedule is, I usually do my in-person cook dates, Mondays and Tuesdays. That's when most clients want their food, right? At the beginning of the week to set themselves up for success. And Thursdays and Fridays, or Thursdays, have always been my admin day. So it's the day where I touch base with referrals, new client consultations. I send out my messages to the following week clients. Okay, how did it go this last time? What are some requests for this next menu? And that's when I start menu planning. So by
Mm.
Friday, then I have, I send out menus. I have my schedule for the next week. If I have any meetings I need to do, of course, now we can do Zoom. We don't, I need to sort of do the in-home kitchen, but I like to be in the client's kitchen just so I can see where I'll be working.
Yeah.
And that is the boring stuff. Although the menu design, that's fun.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
where
For
I
sure.
get to,
Yes.
that's where
Exactly.
I get to
When
internet
you get
serve.
creative,
Yeah. And look at
especially
the
when
flavors.
especially
And
when you
even
have two families with two different
Oh
allergies.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I was also food vacuuming. I was also vac sealing all of their meals because they wanted to reheat them hmm. Those were 10-hour days. And my husband would call and he'd be like, "Where are you?" I was like, "I'm still cooking."
Oh boy.
So needless to say,
What do you mean, where am I?
yeah, I know I've been in this kitchen. No, but needless to say, I have honed the process. I'm a little bit much more efficient in the kitchen now, much more
Yeah.
efficient with the menu planning,
Yeah.
but no less in flavor.
Yeah.
So because
Yeah.
you've got to have that, yeah, even
Yeah.
if it's just
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes, for sure. And I have someone that says, plus you gain different perspectives with a coach.
absolutely,
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, and
absolutely,
the perspectives are just mind blowing sometimes, because,
hmm
you're getting
yeah,
a third party, or, however you want to look at it. But definitely that perspective
Right.
is amazing,
Right.
you know?
Right. And
Um,
having it be industry specific is also very, very helpful,
yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
Because I can still reach out to my network from years
Mhm.
ago, and and I know who were the caterers, who were who were the cooking classes, and I can ask them. I was like, hey, what are your resources? What did you do with this? I had this particular client referral, and what do I tell her?
Yeah.
Where do I start? Because every client is unique. Every
Yes,
client has their unique needs, their unique wants, and yeah, it's great to have people that you can always reach out to.
for sure.
So
I love
yeah,
it. I
yeah,
love it. All right. Let's talk about
yeah.
how you do your simplifying your meal planning,
Mhm.
especially for busy moms and entrepreneurs, because we have a lot
Yes,
of those in
that's
here.
who we are.
And yes, yes, you got that
That's
right.
who we are.
So your expertise in simplified menu planning is, it's really valuable, especially here in our community, right? So I was just hoping that you could share some, maybe some practical tips on
Mhm.
how busy moms and us entrepreneurs can really streamline their meal planning to save time
Yes,
and maybe
yes.
reduce some stress in our lives.
Oh gosh, because cooking should be fun. It should be a joy. It should, when you come to the dining room table, you don't want to be thinking, oh my gosh, are they going to eat this? Am I going to eat this? It shouldn't be just, let's shovel this in and get the meal over with. And yes, food is fuel, food is medicine. And obviously, if you do have particular, individual nutrition needs, might be some parts of that aren't your favorites. You need to eat something, for nutrients, but we can hopefully make it taste good for you. So my menu planning process has always been you have to take a step back, and I started to do this for my own family when I realized that starting with all of they need to be eating this. Well, yes, they need to be eating it, and they should be eating it, but they're not eating it. It's going in the waste bin. So I need to figure out how to get those nutrients into them. So I had to take a step back and start with, well, okay, what do they naturally like to eat? And this is kind of my consultation process when I meet a new client, So what are your top favorite meals? Let's just take a step back, bracket all the we need tos and shoulds and what's on sale even at the grocery store, right? We just need to take a breath and think about objectively, what is it that I'm going to naturally want to eat? What are the flavors? Where do I enjoy eating out? What do I want for a comfort food meal? What do I want for a celebration meal? Because all of those meals and dishes are hints about the flavors that you like on a regular basis. So then we take sort of that big flavor profile and filter it through the nutrition or any medical condition needs, that sort of thing. Filter it through that. And these days, thankfully, we have so many more options when it comes to substitutions or not such or allergy friendly ingredients that we can work with. It makes it a lot easier.
Mm.
But then we filter it through the nutrition requirements, and then all the seafood. Then we filter it through the nutrition requirements, and then we go looking for recipes. So I have one picky eater and one less picky eater, and I was always curious. Well, why is he picky? Why is he picky, and what is he picky about? And one of my big thrills was figuring out, okay, he's eating everything that I use Worcestershire sauce in. So he's eating the meatloaf, he's eating the pot roast, he's eating the, not necessarily beef ingredients, but he likes that flavoring for some reason. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go find other recipes then that have that particular, flavor profile. And it worked, thank goodness. But we also discovered, so, and I'm not just saying eat everything. There is an intuitive mindful eating piece to this,
Yeah.
but we did recently find out he was diagnosed with lifelong IBS. So his pickiness from the get-go, because he was a very colicky baby, actually, very frustratingly, I tried everything. Oh my gosh, I even gave up caffeine. I even gave up caffeine trying to fix
Ooh.
that, which didn't work. But we figured out that his pickiness, he was naturally gravitating towards the foods that weren't going to flare him up. So then I could menu plan a little bit more specifically around, I was like, why don't you like hot dogs? Why do you only want to eat the bun? Or why don't you want to eat the bun? Well, the
Mm.
processed bread, there's
Wow.
additive in there that can set him off if he's already in a flare. So, and my daughter as well has been recently diagnosed with a health condition that means she has POTS. So we've been noticed she needs more salt, she needs more electrolytes, she needs more, sometimes people's preferences can actually indicate, now this isn't always the case, can actually indicate something underlying that is going on. And if you have great doctors, which we've had the fortune to have, they can help you clue into that. So if there are things that need to be diagnosed, definitely go and do that. But, in most cases, we just want to be looking at your flavor profile and picking out, your basic optimal nutrition needs and then planning towards that. And I always like to have a global menu during the week. So that we get lots of different tastes. Like, sometimes we have those weeks where, you get pizza one day and tacos the next. So I'm like, okay, we're going to try and eat around the world this week.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Taco Tuesday. So.
Yeah. And wow, like you just kind of opened up my eyes because I really never thought of it like that. Like, because I've seen kids that don't eat the bun or that don't eat whatever. And it's like, oh my goodness, maybe there is a natural reason why they don't like it. Very, very interesting. And what you said about and do I say Worcestershire sauce?
W sauce. I lived in Boston for over 10 years, but it's W sauce.
Okay.
My husband always, I never say it right. My husband always makes fun.
But to think, oh yeah, like I never would have broken that down before. Like, oh, she likes everything with W sauce in it. So that's the flavors that I need to find. It totally makes sense. That's
right.
Yes.
Then you can go and you can Google. I mean, the resources we have these days are amazing. You can just go Google it. Dishes with Worcestershire sauce. And then you're going to get all kinds of food blogs. Now, not all food blogs are created equal. And in my online community, I like to give resources from the food blogs that I have found to be helpful, recipes that, that work. That you don't need to modify. We've all run into those. So it's, but yeah, you can just go Google it or, recipes with a certain ingredient. And my other child has liked mustard from the get-go, which is odd. Most children don't necessarily like mustard, but that clued me into the fact that she was, more open to more tart ingredients, things that were a little bit more, had more of a vinegar taste to them. So now, this doesn't mean that I'm going to go be short order cook for everybody because that's not very efficient.
Oh, good. Yes, because efficiency is what we're going to talk about next.
That was the next one, right? The efficiency point.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about nutrition and efficiency and meal choices because we were just talking about the nutrition piece and how you get them to eat what they should be eating and maybe, making it more flavorful or finding ways so that they can get that nutrition in because nutrition is definitely vital, right?
Oh, yes. And especially when you're raising children.
Yes. With us with the demanding schedule.
And us moms, we need our energy as well. We can't just be eating the leftovers on the plate, right?
No, but
guilty.
You know how they say you need to put your oxygen mask on first. Well, we need to feed ourselves first. Okay.
Yes, we do. We do.
So Rebecca, all right. What are some of your go-to recipes or, your meal ideas that are they're nutritious and they're quick to prepare. So they're efficient for busy entrepreneurs or busy moms.
So one of the best things that I figured out how to do was to make simple home cooked meals you take one protein and make two different things out of it. And you could either double batch it. That was one if your family is okay with leftovers. Or I don't want to say leftovers, extras. Lunch or dinner for the next day. Leftovers always kind of, makes us think of Thanksgiving, right?
It does.
So for example, if I do, thank you. So ground beef, for example, ground beef is still one of the more affordable meats on the market. And beef has good beef has many different nutrients that we do need that I was recently reminded of, but you could use ground chicken or whatever, but buy, maybe 2 or 3 pounds. If you're a family of 4, buy 2 or 3 pounds. You could, and then you multitask it into two different meals. I can, spaghetti and meatballs is one of my favorites for home cooking, and meatloaf is another one. Simple. You can make it as gourmet as you want to, or you can make it as simple as you need to if it's on a weeknight. There are also great make-aheads, making things ahead to get you through those busy nights of the week. I think menu planning, we always tend to think, oh my gosh, okay, I got to come up with 7 breakfasts, 7 lunches, 7 dinners. And then these are the people that are eating at home. These are the people that aren't eating at home. Make it more simple. Just start with the meals that need, SOS help. Start with dinner. That's what I would suggest. Start with getting maybe 3 dinners during the week. Plan for that. And then either double batch it so you can eat it for lunch the next day, or have a second meal the following night, or even put that second half in the freezer and have it the next week. Don't freeze anything for over a month though, because even if it's vacuum seal. If you vacuum seal, that would work. But don't let anything go past a month in your freezer. Make sure it's labeled. Make sure it's properly sealed, because it will start to grow those ice crystals, and then it won't.
Yeah, and then the taste. Yeah.
Yeah.
That freezer burnt thing.
Yeah.
Love your vibe, Rebecca. Somebody says, thank you. I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. And
so batch cooking, but making 2 different things, not just one. My family does. I've spoiled them with some variety. So I do. And then if you do make one of my favorites too is breadcrumb chicken. We call it breadcrumb chicken. It has many names. It's simply, thin chicken breast pressed into panko breadcrumbs. And then you do a quick pan sear or pan fry and then finish it off in the oven. And at the same time, I can do roasted broccoli. I can do some rice in the microwave. I love my little rice cooker in the microwave. I know I'm Filipino. I should have the the rice cooker on the counter. And I did for many years until I ran into this fabulous microwave invention.
Oh, a rice cooker.
So yeah, microwave rice cooker.
You like the rice cooker in the microwave?
Rice cooker in the microwave? Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's from Pampered Chef, actually. I don't do a lot of Pampered Chef utensils, but this has been one that's been great for me.
Really?
Yeah. And there are lots of different versions. Doesn't have to be the Pampered Chef one. I had been invited to a party. So
I'm making note of that.
I was support. Let me see. Other time efficient. Yeah. So this way you're making the most, not only out of your ingredients, but you're also making the most out of your stove. The more you can multitask around your stove within, say, 20, 30 minutes of cooking time, the better you're going to feel about everything because you're not being a slave to the stove, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully you've made a second meal that you can enjoy the next day or
and I'm going to add to this, Rebecca, because this is what happens in my house is that we cook every night. And sometimes you're cooking stuff that's, like ground beef in the pan or whatever it is that you're cooking for the evening, and it splatters everywhere and you got to clean that darn stove off every night. Why? I mean, like now you're making the cleanup process more efficient too.
Yes.
Why would you not want to just clean up once if you just made 2 meals?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a win-win.
It is. It's an absolute win-win. That's what we want. More wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. I love all these tips. This is so much fun. There's so many
good. Well, I'm glad it's helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So I have one last question for you. And then what we're going to do is I want to make sure that everyone knows where to find you toward the end. So if you have any little goodies or anything that you want to provide to us, I think you should be able to enter things in the chat. If you can't, you can send them to me.
Okay. All right.
I can pop them in there.
Let me see.
Yeah. So totally up to you. But, so her name, Rebecca Connolly, and Connolly, everyone. And you can find her on Facebook. And she's going to pop in her website here.
I am. Let's see. Do I need to join the chat?
Okay. Do you know something? I don't know, but it's StreamYard is kind of funny sometimes, and it won't let you type stuff in. So and we can pop that into Facebook afterwards, and I will tag everyone in here. But I want to make sure that everyone can find you guys, because she has so many useful resources, and you just did a challenge not too long ago that was really neat. Yes, that was so much fun.
Thank you. My first nutrition challenge. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. Hopefully my guests learned a lot as well. Tons of resources, lots of recipes. Always got to have lots of recipes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. All right. So what we're going to talk about to wrap things up here is a great question. It's balancing business and culinary passion in your daily life. Okay. That's the big question. So finally here, now, how do you really maintain a balance, if there is such thing, right, between your culinary passion and your business responsibilities? Because again, we talked about that kind of in the
Right.
beginning of the discussion. And yes, you do what you love, you have that passion, but you have the business side that you have to take care of, right? So
Mm-hmm.
do you have
Mm-hmm.
any advice for entrepreneurs on finding that balance in their own lives,
Mm-hmm.
and businesses, and kind of separating the two, or just trying to gel those together?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's a daily struggle. Some days go better than others. The goal is harmony. That's my new favorite word, is harmony. And it's important to realize too that there are different stages to your business growth. So when you're just starting, you're making that first push for growth, that's hard work. And if you're looking for, and you've really got to put the time in to grow something, and because maintenance can't come until you've grown right to the size or met the goals that you want to meet. So those days might be a little bit longer, and there might be a little more blood, sweat, and tears all the way around. What I have found to be very helpful is time blocking. On the days that I can do that, is really sit down with your schedule, so so your family knows what to expect as well. If you're truly working from home, so they know, okay, this is the time mom's working now for, maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe it's 20 minutes. If you're lucky, maybe it's an hour if you have someone watching your kids for you, or if your spouse can help out. If you get an hour, so just so everyone's expectations are managed, and make sure your family also knows why you're doing this. Is it you're wanting to do this for them? That was part of my goal, right? I do this so that I can stay home, so that I can have more time to share with them. But it still means you gotta get the business done so
Yeah.
that the money comes in.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
business.
Yep. So basically go back and to your why. Why am I doing this? Right.
Right. Right.
And especially when you're in the thick of things, and things
Mhm.
are hard, and you feel like it's not working, or
Mhm.
it's too much, or whatever, and you want to give up, and
Mhm.
you don't know how close you are to that breakthrough. Go
Right.
back and find
Exactly.
your why. Why did I
Mhm.
want to do this in the first place? Right.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
another thing too is just taking a little break, and stepping away for a little
Yes.
bit.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
important as
because we
well.
all need a break sometimes, right?
Recognize your wins,
Yeah.
give yourself
Mhm.
credit for how far you've come, because, when you're in the middle of it, right, you're so close to it, you can't really see. So,
So,
you got to give yourselves the pats on the back and permission to take a break, and
yeah.
celebrate the imperfect wins. Even, you've made it so far, and maybe not as far as, but it's coming. You'll get there. You just have to, sometimes it's a little bit slower than others, and
Yeah.
sometimes you get a breakthrough and
Exactly.
you weren't expecting it. Mhm.
Exactly, and it will be a little different than others. So, another important part is to maybe not don't compare yourself with someone else, because they
Yes.
may be in chapter 10 of their journey, and you may be in chapter 1 or
Exactly.
2. And
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
it's an easy thing to do when you're taking a look at what they're doing, and thinking, well, oh, I want that so
Mhm.
badly. I'll never get
Mhm.
there, or whatever. You got to remember that
Right.
person started there too. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's another important piece of having a community to support you.
Oh,
I
goodness.
remember when I first started as a personal chef, there were ladies who were, now where I am now, almost empty nest. And they had started doing the bigger catering events, doing, online blogging and offering cooking classes. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, why? That is so not where I'm at right now. But
Yeah.
now that I'm there, I'm like, oh, now I get
Yeah.
it. And,
Yeah.
I had their wisdom, they paved the way for it. So I can rely on their journeys to guide my current journey where I'm at.
I
So
love that
yeah,
so much. Yes,
yeah.
because back then you were probably thinking, "Oh, can I really do what they're doing?" Right?
Oh yeah. What do
Oh
I
my
have
gosh,
to say in a blog? Who's going to read that?
exactly.
I have lots to say now.
Yes, you do, and I love it. I love it.
Thank you,
Oh my
Courtney. Thank
gosh.
you.
Well, Rebecca, we are
Yeah.
at almost 45 minutes, and
Oh
I
goodness.
cannot tell you how much fun this was, and I so appreciate your time, and I know the whole community does.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Heidi,
you.
you are so welcome. And Heidi, you mentioned something about the W sauce, and you love that a lot. It's great on veggies, and
Yes.
your
Oh,
crab
I haven't tried it
cookie.
on veggies. I need to do that. Good tips. See?
Oh,
Community.
so great.
So
So I have learned so much, and thank you for sharing your insights. Like your time
yes,
blocking is really really sets well with me. It's close to my
good,
heart too, because
good.
we teach that in our academy as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because
Time
there's
is
no,
precious.
it
Time is
sure
precious.
is. It sure
Yeah,
is.
we
You
have
are
to.
so welcome. Someone said they love this session, and thank you,
Yes,
Rebecca. Yes,
awesome,
and
thank
thank
you.
you
Oh,
from
so I
me as
did,
well.
Jody, if I can take a moment, I
You
did
bet.
want to offer all of you that hopped on live, and even those of you who hop on for replay, I did want to offer you a free mini menu consult. So I will drop those. I'd love to work with all of you. I'd love to give, recipes and menu tips. So I will drop that. I'll give it to Jody, I guess, and she can drop it in the Facebook group. The link for
Absolutely.
that, just fill it out. It'll come directly to me, and then I'll be in touch, and we'll
How
get you some good recipes
exciting.
for your families. Yeah.
How exciting. And I'm so excited for everyone that joined live, and you get this special gift,
Yes.
a
Thank you.
mini menu consult with Rebecca. Oh my
Yes.
gosh,
Yeah.
you guys are all very, very lucky to be here with our wonderful guests. So thank you so much. And thank you
Thank you,
everyone
Jody.
who tuned in. I know that I pulled a lot of great information out of here. And Rebecca, it was just lovely to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, take care, and I'll see you soon, Rebecca. All right, bye. Oh my gosh, there you have it, you guys. Wasn't she awesome? She is just lovely. I love Rebecca's vibe as well, and she's just such a smart, savvy businesswoman who has just taken her passion and just and her skills and turned them into an online business. And that's what we're all about here in our community, isn't it? So that is just so exciting. I love stories like these. If you have a passion like Rebecca does, you can do it too, right? It just takes getting started. It just takes hanging in there and testing things out and finding mentors and all the things that we just talked about today. So wow. So this is a great session. And so I want to wrap things up here. Just let you know that I do have several other guest speakers lined up for the next several weeks, all the way through February, mostly Wednesdays at 10 a.m. One of my guests next week, it's going to be a little bit different just to accommodate her schedule. It's going to be on Tuesday, February 6th at 10 a.m., but the rest of them will be on Wednesdays at 10. I also still have my boot camp going on right now, and we actually are starting today, shortly here, module 5. We are halfway through the boot camp. It's an 8-week boot camp that helps women to start from their business ideas, figure out really focus in on what their skills are so that they can pull those out and decide what they want to do as a service business, and just get started and get that business launched. So just a reminder on the boot camp that those modules that are going through the boot camp, there's an exclusive boot camp group, and you have to be in the paid program in order to be in that group. But those modules are being pre-released before the end, and the end is February 21st. So all of the boot campers that are in there can go in and kind of take a look what's in there, and can really go at their own pace, and they have lifetime access to the boot camp. So that's really exciting. And what else do I have going on? I have a masterclass that's going to be coming up in February, and it's going to be about how to start a virtual assistant business that you love using the skills that you have. So that will be coming up, and just a lot of really, really great things. So I just want to say thank you guys again for tuning in today. This was a really, really fun episode, and I hope you took some really great tips. Go check out Rebecca. We'll be posting all of her links to where you can find her in the comments after we close out here. All right. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you all soon. Bye.